Okay, so we're back. Evaluate algebraic expressions. To evaluate an algebraic expression, replace the variables with their values. Then find the value of the numerical expression using the order of operations. So what's all that mean? Well, basically all that means is they're going to give you an algebraic expression with variables and tell you to what to plug in for those variables, and then you just do the problem from there like it was, like we did in the last video, okay? So here's what that looks like. If I have 3x squared plus the quantity 2y plus z cubed, and they tell me that x equals 4, y equals 5, and z equals 3, well, you just replace x with 4, y with 5, and z with 3. So here's what that would look like. When you plug in the 4 for the x, be careful because you don't want to think of it as 34 squared. It's 3 times x squared, so it's going to be 3 times 4 squared. The 2y, when you replace the y with the 5, you don't want to write that as 25. You want to write it as 2 times 5 because 2y is understood to mean 2 times y. So when you plug in 5 for y, you need to write it as 2 times 5. Otherwise, it looks like 25, and it's totally confusing. Okay? Now, once we plug everything in, you just follow order of operations. You got grouping symbols, so go in there first, and exponents within the grouping symbol. So 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3, which is 9 times 3, which is 27. Still inside the grouping symbol, you got multiplication and addition. So do the multiplication first. 2 times 5 is 10. Then the addition will give you 37. Now you have multiplication, exponents, and addition. Apply the exponent first, so it becomes 3 times 16. Then multiply before you add. 3 times 16 is 48, plus 37, and you get 85. All right, here's a couple for you to try. Go ahead and pause the video and hit play when you're ready. All right, so the first one, if a is 2, you would have 2 squared times 3 times b, which is 6, plus 5. All right, substitute everything in first, and then follow the order of operations. Inside the parentheses, you have to do the multiplication first, then the addition, okay? Now I have multiplication and exponents. So 2 squared is 4. Oops, the whole time I forgot the divided by c. Divide by 4, divide by 4. This has to be divided by 4. Okay, so it really doesn't affect the problem that I did that because division still comes after the multiplication because the multiplication came first. So back to the 2 squared. 2 squared is 4 times 23 divided by 4. Now 4 times 23 is, 4 times 20 would be 80, then 4 times 3 is 12, so that'd be 92 divided by 4, and 92 divided by 4 is 23. Now you might have noticed right here that you're multiplying by 4, then dividing by 4, so it's like you're going to do something and then reverse it, so you should end up with 23 anyway. Okay? All right. So the next one, 5 times d, which is 4, plus 6 times f, which is 3, minus g, which is 12. Okay, so within the grouping symbols, so you have 5 times 4 plus 6 times 3 is 18 minus 12. Still within those grouping symbols. Now, I know the 4 is within a grouping symbol of parentheses, but there's nothing to do inside there. It's just 4. So you're going to think of that as just indicating to multiply the 4 times 5. But again, these grouping symbols come first, so we got to finish those up. So 18 minus 12 is 6. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 6 gives us 26. All right? Cool. All right, environmental studies. Science on a Sphere, SOS, demonstrates the effects of atmospheric storms, climate changes, and ocean temperature on the environment. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 of pi multiplied by the radius to the 3rd power. So write an expression that represents the volume of the sphere. So 4/3 of pi multiplied by the radius to the 3rd power. So let r equal the radius. So 4/3 of means to multiply. So times pi multiplied by the radius to the third power, so r cubed. So it becomes 4/3 pi r cubed. Find the volume of the 3-foot radius sphere used for SOS. So we're just going to plug in 3 for r, and you have 4/3 times pi times 27. The 27 times 4/3 would simplify to 36. The 3 and 27 would cross reduce to a 9, and 4 times 9 is 36. So you get 36 pi. So the volume of the sphere is 36 pi cubic feet. And if you got the decimal, it would be about 113.1 feet cubed. Okay? All right, here's one for you to go ahead and try on your own. Hit pause and then play it when you're ready. All right, according to the California Department of Forestry, an average of 539.2 fires each year are started by debris, while campfires are responsible for an average of 129.1 each year. Write an algebraic expression that represents the number of fires on average in D years of debris burning and C years of campfires. So for part A, that'd be 539.2 D plus 129.1 C. So for part B, in 5 years, it'd be 539.2 times 5 plus 291.1, or 129.1 times 5. Now this one you might want to bust out your calculator for. So 539.2 times 5 gives you 2,696, and 129.1 times 5 gives you 645.5. So when you add those together, you get 3,341.5, which is about 3,342 fires. Since you can't have half a fire, if you have even part of a fire, you just count that as a whole fire. Okay? So 3,342 fires. All right, guys, that's it for this section. Please continue on to your assignment. As always, reach out if you have any questions, and make it a great day. Take care.